Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, I am excited to try a new to the US foundation. It is, I guess it was in Europe first, but now it is in the US, but it is the new Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation. It is a broad spectrum SPF 15. It is a medium coverage and it is supposed to be oil free, supposed to last 24 hours. Don't wear your foundation for 24 hours, but I'm excited to try it. Now they did discontinue the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. Now this was a full coverage. I actually really like this. So now the shade that I have here is warm beige, which was actually a really great match for me. I got two shades of the Bobbi Brown and neither of them are the same. The shades seem to align from what, and I think that this is going to be the warm beige was a better match for me. So I'm going to try these two, see which one is better. I do want to do just a side-by-side comparison just to kind of see how it looks. Again, but this one was full coverage. This is now discontinued. I thought this was a great foundation, but you know, I guess a lot of people didn't like it, so it is now discontinued. Full coverage is, I like full coverage. Full coverage is not really in right now, so it makes sense that they're coming out with a medium coverage. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so this is called the Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Oil Controlling Foundation, SPF 15 with hyaluronic acid. It is a long-wear foundation that delivers 24-hour moisture and 24-hour wear for a natural matte finish that looks like skin, not makeup. Formulated with our smart skin balancing technology, this lightweight formula controls oil all day without stripping skin, delivering medium coverage that minimizes the look of pores and feels comfortable and breathable. So again, I got two shades and it is the neutral warm sand, which is light with neutral warm undertones, and then sand, which is light with warm neutral undertones. And then the shade that I had in the original foundation, or I guess a similar foundation, was warm beige, which is light to medium warm undertones. So I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison, but first I'm going to see which one of these shades works for me, and we'll take a look, and then we'll I'll do a side-by-side. The shades aren't gonna match. Then I'm gonna take off this side, but I just want to kind of see how it looks comparison side by side. But you know, so obviously the shades aren't going to match, but I want to kind of compare the coverage and the look of it, you know, on bare skin, and also see which one is probably a better match for me. Okay, so the first one is the neutral warm sand, which in the swatches looks like a lighter color, but when you see it, it is definitely a darker color. So we're gonna just kind of put it here and see how it looks. Obviously this is, and it seems to be pretty kind of warm and kind of peachy. So it's definitely a warmer. I could definitely make it work, but it definitely is a lighter shade. And then the next one is sand, and this is the light, warm, neutral undertones. So this one is definitely really light. This one is just really too light. So I'm probably gonna mix the two together because I got them. But yeah, I don't think either one. But let me go ahead and look and just kind of swatch the other foundation. Okay, so here is the warm beige from the original foundation. That is my shade. Definitely my shade. So I needed to get warm beige, didn't get it. I didn't even think, I forgot that I had this, to be honest. I liked it, but you know, with full coverage, I always reach for my Charlotte Tilbury, so I didn't really reach for that one. But warm beige is definitely my shade. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix these two together and put it on this side. So the shade is not gonna be a match, but you'll still get like, as far as the wear is gonna look the same. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and apply this like so. And again, this is not the best match for me, so not ideal, but we'll see how it works. Now, I do prefer a full coverage foundation. However, I have been liking some medium coverage foundations, and depending on the situation, if I need it to last all day, I'm gonna wear full coverage. but for a lot of occasions I've been wearing medium and really liking it. So it just depends. But let's see how, I mean, this is looking really nice. I don't have anything. I just have moisturizer on. I don't have any primer. I don't have anything on. I just wanted to see kind of how it looks on the bare skin. But here is, so that is really quick with the foundation and without. And, you know, it gives, obviously, I do think it's a little light, but I did mix the two together and I don't think it's bad. I don't have any spray tan on at the moment. So it does feel like it fits in, it fills in my pores pretty well. I don't feel like it emphasizes. I don't think it's matte, but I do think it's a natural finish. So I don't feel like it's a matte finish, but I don't think it's a glowy finish either. So, but I like it so far. Okay, so here is, again, the one side with the brand new Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation. And then this is with nothing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply the former Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless. Now this is the full coverage. And again, this is a different shade, so it's not going to be a match, but I did want to kind of compare just so that you can see what the, you know, because if you were like me, now this is definitely a better match for me. This is definitely a more full coverage foundation. So if you liked me and you liked this foundation, but you're curious about it, maybe you're curious about, maybe you didn't want full coverage, or you like Bobbi Brown, but you didn't like full coverage, but you know, this kind of will give you a comparison. So I am kind of, it does feel a little thicker. The, I think it's called viscosity is what Marlene Estelle refers to it as. It doesn't feel as watery as the brand new foundation. So it does feel a little thicker, but not too much. I don't have any concealer on. I haven't done concealer or anything else yet. So I have nothing else on except my moisturizer, except my skincare. And I'm going to go in with a brush and then go in with a sponge after, just to kind of tap it out. So I can definitely see that this one is more full coverage. This one definitely feels, does seem more natural. Obviously the shades are going to be different. So I do see this one just has, you know, kind of just more of a natural finish. However, feeling it on my skin, this one does feel more weightless. This one was described as weightless. They were actually both described as weightless. So I feel like this new foundation is a replacement for this one, even though this one is a little bit more lighter weight, a little bit less coverage. I do feel that this one has a lighter feel, just a tad bit, but a little bit of a lighter feel. But as far as coverage, well, let me let them sit on the skin for just a minute or two. Okay, so I let about 5 minutes pass. So this side definitely needs to be set. It's still very kind of moist, like when I touch. This one, I haven't put any powder on, and it feels just like I could set it. I definitely will set it, but it doesn't need it. It's just so, it's definitely a lighter weight formula and has a tad bit less coverage. So I think it's probably medium to full. So it's probably buildable. But as far as like my, you know, coverage, I do see that this one is more full coverage, but I don't think it's that much less. It's less, but not that much less, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to wash my face completely and then reapply the brand new foundation and come back. Okay, so as you can see, it is a different day. I ended up having to stop filming and it's 2 days later, but I already did that intro, so that's fine. I have already put on the foundation, so I did apply the foundation, which was my original intent, but I am going to do a wear test today. Originally, I was going to do it later, but now it's 2 days later in the morning, so I am going to do a wear test today, but I do like the coverage. Here is this coverage. I shot this right before on my iPhone, which is obviously, you know, in natural light. light. So here is just kind of how it looks. I think it looks good. It's definitely a medium coverage. It's again, I tend to like more full coverage, but it is definitely a medium coverage. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of do my other makeup, probably film another video in between, and then come back and then we'll start the wear test. Okay, so I am back. I have put on a little bit of makeup. I put on some liquid blush. I did lightly powder my face, very, very lightly. I am wearing the Bobbi Brown skin concealer. I don't know what it's, something, but I am wearing the Bobbi Brown concealer, and I will post links to everything down below. And I just put on a little bit of brows, some Eyes to Mesmerize from Charlotte Tilbury, and then mascara. So pretty light day, and then obviously the just lipstick and the liquid blush. So I'm going to check in now and then do a couple check-ins on my phone throughout the day, and then I will come back at the end and give you my final thoughts of my initial first impressions. As far as the coverage right now, I don't love how it's sitting on my skin. Now my skin is kind of a little dry right now. I had stopped using tretinoin for a while, and I started again. So I am a little dry. So it is kind of showing the dryness a little bit, but I'm hoping that as maybe my oils come through, a lot of times with foundations that I don't really like at first, the oils come through and I end up really liking them, and then sometimes vice versa. So really don't know, but I don't hate it. I just don't love it initially, but let's see how the wear test goes. Okay, so I am back. I did a full 8-hour wear test. However, you can see I am in different clothes. I have different makeup, and I have a fresh face of makeup for the most part. That is because I did a full 8-hour wear test. I filmed 2, 4, 6, and 8 hours, but I was still on the road and still running errands, and came back. I came back probably around 9 hours in and said, I'm going to take a quick, I'm just going to lay down for a second, and I passed out. And at that point, when I woke up, I took about an hour nap, but at that point, it was not fair, to kind of come back, and because I'm not a good napper. So anyway, plus I was just exhausted. So I didn't get a chance to kind of come back, but I am wearing the foundation today. And I will say, one of the things I noticed yesterday is it started breaking up around my chin. However, I did mention that I was really dry around my chin. Well, last night, my face just really, really peeled. After I washed my face, it started to peel, and even this morning it was peeling even more. So I did some some treatments that I have for hydration, and I did some exfoliation. So I got all that dead skin off, and the foundation went on so much better today. I really like the foundation, how it looks today. Initially than I did yesterday. And I think that's also just because my skin is just a little bit better shape, because I had just done a peel, a little at-home peel. So my face was kind of a little dry and peeling into certain spaces. But with that, it was actually a pretty good wear test. So let me go ahead and show you my wear test, and then we'll come back. Okay, so this first video is about a little less than 2 hours in. You can see it looks fresh, it looks good. I did felt it was a little dry, but I was pretty happy with the coverage overall. Okay, so here is 4 hours in, and you can start seeing that it's showing up on my chin, but overall, this is when the oil started breaking through, and I thought it started to look a little better. And here is 6 hours, and you can see there's not much of a difference between 4 and 6, except for around my chin. And here it is 8 hours in, and I think it still looks pretty good with the exception around my chin. It was really breaking up around my chin, but as I stated, I was really peeling. So again, I had no primer on. I was just wearing moisturizer and no sunscreen. Well, the moisturizer I had is the Elemis that has SPF, but no additional sunscreen. And it really, it actually was one of those foundations that started to look better as the day went on, because it was a little dry at first. And then what I could have said is it was starting breaking up around here, but I think that's also just because I was peeling. And if your skin is peeling, there's nothing, it's not going to keep the foundation on no matter what, because your skin is literally falling off. I will say I was also testing the Hourglass, which is going to be a separate video. I don't know which one is going to go up first. Probably this one. And this lasted really, really well on the foundation, which means that the foundation was lasting, because a liquid blush or any blush is not going to last if the foundation doesn't last. So really, really, I am torn though, because I really liked the full coverage foundation, and I'm disappointed that they have discontinued this. I would say this is basically a reformulation, and it's just a little bit lighter weight with a little bit less coverage, which I'm not sure if I like, just because I like full coverage, but I think more medium and lighter coverage is what's in. But I do like it. Like yesterday, I was kind of at first, and then as the day went on, I was like, okay, great. And then as it was breaking up here, I was like, oh, but then I realized that was my skin, not necessarily the foundation. And I usually don't have problems with foundations here, so that was really my skin. Where I really kind of see it is here, and it wore really well. Is it going to be my favorite foundation? No, because I am not. My favorite foundation is going to be a full coverage. It's just that's how I am. But I do really like it. I am anxious. I do have the wrong shade, so I need to get this shade, which is warm beige. That is my shade, so I need to get warm beige. So I am going to exchange the shade that I have, or one of the shades that I have, for the correct shade, because I mix these two together, but it's not, neither of the right shade. I can make it work, but it's neither is the right shade. So, but I do like it enough to get the correct shade. So I do like that. But it is like $57, so it's pricey. I don't think it's worth $57. I would say no for $57 for that. I think you get the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter, which is a full coverage, but you can make it, you know, more medium coverage. You know, if you just kind of go really light-handed, you can definitely, you know, blend it out more. I would say if this goes on sale, then great. There's very few foundations that I would spend, you know, over $50 for, because there's a lot of good foundations that are less. So I think it's really good. I really like it. I'm anxious to continue using it, but I don't think I would spend $57 for it. But if it gets, you know, 10-15% off, then yes. So, but I will, any additional, I would put a pinned comment and then also update in the description box. So if there's any updates, I will post it there. But with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.